Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Wasn't actually going to do a video on this, I was going to let it go. But then the Batwoman writers room had to open their mouths. So here we go, both barrels, you brought this on yourself. Javicia Leslie, the star, inverted commas, of Batwoman, the recently cancelled show on the CW after 3 seasons, was interviewed by Digital Spy. Digital Spy, as you can see, that has rainbow things spinning around. This is the Rainbow Crew, an ongoing interview series that celebrates the best alphabet representation on screen. Yeah, it's all very skewed. I still, to this day, do not understand why the alphabet community think that they deserve medals simply for their sexuality or any different to anyone else. It's just a minor part of people's lives. But here we go. This is what we get. And in a few, weeks' time, we're going to go into Pride Month, the most obnoxious month of the year, where every corporation goes down on one knee and pretends that it's an ally to the alphabet community when it's not. It's pandering. We get extra special screams on Twitter. We get extra special censorship as any sort of pushback towards this egregious and, like I said, obnoxious time of the year. It's the most obnoxious time of the year. But of course, you say anything about it and you're a bigot, you're a this, you're a that, you're another. Maybe we're just so tired of everywhere that we look because everything is so skewed in one direction. We have to have this constantly shoved down our throat whenever it comes to casting of TV, casting of movies, comic books, wherever we look now. There's just so few places that actually want to put the story in front of the representation. So we go looking for TV shows from Korea, Japan. We go looking for manga, fun. We're looking for fun or entertainment that doesn't come with a political narrative attached to it. Or should I say more of a modern day political narrative or an intersectional narrative or whatever it may be. And they're all skewed and they're all bullshit and they're all so far up their own asses and they just sniff each other's farts and they just tell each other how wonderful it is. And it's all so superficial. They've got the depth of a puddle that's drying up in the sun. The whole lot of them. And their whole spiel, their whole lie revolves around if you don't superficially see yourself on screen, or if the character doesn't superficially have a trait that is representative of a tick box, then you can't connect with that. And we all know it's horseshit. It's been horseshit since the first day it was mentioned, and it's still horseshit to this very moment right now. So let's just get past the pandering bullshit here and get to the questions. Following Batwoman's cancellation, has there been any particular fan response that's really stood out or moved you? Yeah, some people are wasting their money, putting up signs saying "Save Batwoman." That's great. I mean, you've barely got 2 brass farthings to rub together as it is because you're part of a far left ideology, so you're broke. So yeah, spending the few remaining shekels that you have, putting up posters that ain't gonna mean dick. I actually thoroughly endorse. So please, more of this. Because, you know, this merger that's just gone through, that has affected the CW, the chap who's slicing through the shit shows on the CW, like a samurai goes through a watermelon, is looking at what you bring to the table. And do you know what you bring to the table? Nothing. Nothing at all. Because inclusion and diversity doesn't pay no bills. Inclusion and diversity doesn't actually bring people in. Your fake, phony narrative that you are representing this and representing that, and it's good that we've got representation this and that and the other, has always been around, full stop. There's always been plenty of diversity in TV, film, etc., comics, whatever it may be. Books. And some have set rules and some have more fluid rules depending on what universe they create. And that's brilliant, because do you know what? That doesn't make everything samey. That makes things different. Shut up, you dumb cow. Off you go again, Siri, until you learn to behave. But these people will tell you that we need to have this and we need to have that. No, you don't. It doesn't pay any bills. And as you can see from the massive declines, particularly in the 18 to 49 demo in Batwoman, which was down nearly 30% from season 2 to season 3, shows you exactly how you're not engaging the youth of today. How you're not engaging the target demographics that you so desperately want to go for. Or is it the under 18s that you're really trying to get? Okay, groomer. Maybe it's that. So keep going with that one. What would you say now to these fans who are campaigning for a return to the show? Oh, just I hear you and I see you. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. It's never been done. We've not had a black female lead as a title for a superhero show. There's plenty of black superheroes. There's plenty of black female superheroes. But just because it didn't lead a show, that's a bad thing. But what you did is you created a tokenized version of an already derivative character. So you couldn't even create something brand new and fresh. You had to steal from Batman, which you had to steal from Batwoman, which stole from Batman. So you're a third generation tokenized derivative character. Congratulations. We just haven't had it. And to top it off, she's also gay. So what? Nobody cares. You know the only people that care? You lot! That keep screaming and shouting and wanting it to be rammed down everyone's throats. But do you know why? Because you've got nothing of value to say. Nothing. You have nothing of interest to say. Nothing of worth to say. It's a broken record which just goes around and around and around and around. Parrot. If Batwoman was saved, what would you hope to see in season 4? Obviously, we'd love to see more Wildmore, which is Sophie and Ryan. Wildmore. That's all this is. It's just putting two people's names together and going, oh my God, I'm totally shipping these people. By the way, you are two allegedly bisexual women and you had zero chemistry. You had zero chemistry. Now, I know that, there are plenty of movies where heterosexual characters have got no chemistry. But you put two people together who have absolutely zero chemistry whatsoever. In actual fact, nobody had any chemistry. Nobody had chemistry in any of the groups. Nobody had chemistry in any of the relationships. Why? Because it wasn't the story that came first in any of this whatsoever. It was just shoving the representation out and thinking that was good enough, and it's not. Not even close. Screw Alice. She goes on to say, what doors has Batwoman opened up for the industry? Wait for this one, folks. The cultural movement that came after Black Panther, what that movie showed was how there was a space for black superheroes and black comics. Yeah, it's not that Black Panther was in any way, shape, or form a very forced marketing narrative. And it wasn't even a good film. It was decidedly average film at best, with a god-awful ending. And so coming on the heels of that as Batwoman, we also showed that there's a space in it for television. So you want to attach yourself to Black Panther, with at least made a lot of money, because that marketing and pandering campaign worked for a terrible, for a very distinctly average movie. But you think you can piggyback off that? Holy shit. Crazy. Now let's go to this. This is the Batwoman's writer's room. And here we go. Comments trying to detract and deflect from the impact. Safety. Words of violence. Do you know why? Because they can't handle criticism. Not interested in criticism, can't handle criticism. Because as soon as you start to criticize, as soon as you start to question, the narrative complete and utterly falls apart. And so they're more interested in censorialship and silencing you. Representation, happiness, and hope that Batwoman brought black women can be seen to the door and left behind. Whatever that means. It's 2022. Be better. Eat my anus. They follow up with calling a show that made strides for representation for queer black women anything but positive. Can't criticize because it's got queer black women in it, so you can't criticize. It's an attempt to change the narrative. No. As you'll see from my response, which you can start to see on the screen. And it's time we stop letting those who don't matter have the stage. Oh, who doesn't matter? Excuse me, can you specify who doesn't matter? I'm listening. That sounds very bigoted. That sounds very gatekeeping of you. Let the black woman have the floor. No. Why? So I put, your show was dog shit. The stories were garbage. Representation, in inverted commas, is no substitute to good storytelling. And to hide behind it shows your cowardice and inability to take any responsibility yourselves. You were lucky to get 3 seasons. You didn't even deserve 1. And if you've seen my reviews, and many of you would have seen my reviews, then I think, I don't think you're left without too much doubt that the show was absolute hot garbage. But of course, inclusion, diversity, representation, they are shields to be hid behind, and they are also swords to be weaponized with whenever the moment arises, whenever the specific time period requires it to be used in that way, either as a defense or an attack mechanism. But do you know what? As I said here, none of it, not a single scrap of it, is in any way, shape, or form a substitute for good storytelling. Something the show never had from start to fucking finish. Goodbye. See you later, Batwoman. You're never gonna get picked up. Good riddance.